Hey everyone, welcome to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia to follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. So excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm gonna review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Occasionally, not so geeky ones too. And I also like to mix things up once in a while by not reviewing anything. Hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents The Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they can please do something for me. Please share the hell of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now that we have all that important stuff out of the way, let's smash right into this episode. Hello, my Gamma friends. Today I'm gonna review Tank Girl, and I'm joined by Gus from Askewed Reviews, who's a friend of mine from TikTok. Which you guys definitely check out his channel on TikTok. How you doing, Gus?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about this film. To be honest, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I knew that it was listed as a comedy, and I knew that it was Wasteland, and that was what made me interested in watching this film because just the idea of a comedy set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland just sounds like so much fun to me, and I ended up absolutely loving this.
Oh, so you had never seen it before.
No, I had not.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, oh man, I practically grew up watching this movie just over and over again.
Nice. Yeah. I'm like I love wasteland films, and also comedy is my favorite genre. So mixing them together is just really cool to me, and particularly that there's even more to it that feels specifically tailored to my taste, as it is particularly raunchy comedy, and
Hmm.
it's very ridiculous, and I love ridiculous films.
Oh yeah. No, this one was perfect just because it was this weird kind of like combination of like a pseudo futuristic, but also at the same time like it leaned back on so much original comedy, like kind of how the genie does in Aladdin, where it's like, yeah, it's in the past, but he's using all this future kind of joking, and it's like in the reverse with this movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's and another thing I absolutely love in it is the use of comic panels and animation is so cool. How they'd use that in this.
So it is cool, but did you know that the reason that they did that? So there was like 10 major scenes that needed to be in the movie or they wanted to be in the movie, that they never ended up physically recording. And so the two guys
Yeah,
who created the comic book actually were pretty angry about this, as they had to be pulled in to do the animation and the comic book stuff.
interesting. To be honest, I think it was a really great choice for them to do, because
Oh,
I
I
think
agree.
it's so cool seeing the changes. Is like I am I it kind of like I love whenever there's ever films actually incorporate stuff like that.
Mhm.
They do stuff like that with the Spider-Verse films. They do stuff like that with the 2003 Hulk film. And it's always so cool to me whenever I see things like that in film.
Have
Oh
you ever
man.
seen Cool World?
No, I've heard of it, I think, but I've never seen it.
It's an interesting movie where they combine live action and animation together, but it's really fascinating how they blend those kind of together.
Okay, cool. Let me look it up now. Uh, I've definitely heard about this. So it's one I would like to check out at some point. Looks like a kind of a more mature version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yeah, very much so is.
which I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Um, the and so I also another thing about this I really enjoyed is just the performance from the main character was
Hmm.
so much fun. On I really wonder since I'm not sure, but if this was before or after, but if it was after, it was definitely like probably soon after, or I feel like this character probably was some of the inspiration for Harley Quinn, and since I'm pretty sure she first came to be in the '90s, just like this film came out since she was introduced. It was in the Batman the Animated Series before she came in the comics.
Yeah, so Tank Girl the comics, I don't remember when those started, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise if somehow the character from the comics and even more specifically from this movie did end up inspiring a little bit of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because it definitely feels a lot like Harley Quinn, and it's really cool to me that there is actually a reboot that is in development for this, and it's
Hmm.
being made by Margot Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn in movies.
Yeah, hopefully that comes to actually fruition. Like it
Yeah.
was in 2019 when they started talking about that. So I really would like to see it because I feel this
Mhm.
is definitely one of those movies, or at least in general, the Tank Girl comic books, there's such an ability to redo that nowadays and make more movies on that same subject and everything because it's basically like Mad Max with comedy, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But to be honest, I kind of feel like it would work even better as a TV show than as a movie.
Oh,
Because I think
yeah.
that would be really fun to be able to watch like week to week the adventures of Tank Girl. And I think as we're in this like streaming age, I feel like it would be easier for them to get it off the ground if it were a TV show.
Yeah, and like especially with the success of the Fallout TV series, like I feel
Hmm.
that very much could be an almost like a building block of how you could make this happen is you take the way that they did that show and I could see them using that same kind of formula
Hmm.
for Tank Girl.
And then also as well the Twisted Metal show.
Oh
Which
yeah, good point.
yeah.
That's that out there comedy that would fit perfectly
Hmm.
within that world.
Definitely, definitely. The also I some characters that I really didn't know what to expect out of, but ended up really loving were the kangaroo characters. I had a lot of fun
Oh yeah,
watching
the
them.
Rippers.
Yeah.
They were
Oh
weird
man.
and strange and they're from the comic books. Um but yeah, but they like I like them, but two of the issues that I had with the characters are one with Booga. It's just so weird to me that relationship that him and Tank Girl have because he's a reincarnated dog. So it's just kind of like, this is a weird
Hmm.
bestial level that's just kind of very strange to me. And then
Understandable.
Donner is such a creep. Just every
Mhm.
moment that he's on the screen is just so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely like very wrong of them to say this, but I'm gonna be honest, I did find it really funny when um one of them were like these people that they are hostages is you have to strip, and then one of them's like that's not part of the plan, and the rest of them are like well why not.
Yeah.
Like that was really funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tank Girl is definitely one of those movies that if they tried to remake it exactly as it was, would not work nowadays just because
I,
some of those comedy moments are so
mhm.
over the line.
I don't know. I feel like it could. They like they just have to like be a little bit careful with how they do it. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of the jokes still could land and pretty well. Um, like the Deadpool movies still have some pretty out there air jokes.
Oh yeah.
So I think that it's absolutely something that can and still happen. It's just something they have to be a little bit careful of and to be honest, in my opinion, be more like try more with I'm more with the jokes because how I feel about like offensive comedy is it's like a really low bar of comedy and where if you just spent more time on thinking of good jokes, you can think of something that's funny without it being offensive versus I think a lot of people who laugh at offensive comedy, they don't care how good of joke it is. They just want to laugh at it being offensive.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's definitely like I enjoy both types of comedy, but it's more of what kind of mood I'm in. Like do I
Mm.
just want to sit there and then it's just going to be ridiculous like really bad raunchy comedy and it's just like, yeah, okay, cool, I'm good for that. Or is it like, you know what? I want a little bit more story to my comedy?
Mhm. I thought it was interesting the idea that this one company is keeping all of the water for water and also sucking the water out of people. Um, I thought that was an interesting story or for this, and I think Malcolm, whatever his last name was a great villain for the film.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, apparently they wanted Malcolm McDowell to be that character, but they never thought that he would actually agree to it. But they put out the kind of like, "Hey, would you be interested?" And he immediately was in.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of actors who they're a lot more willing to do the wacky stuff than and people think.
Hmm.
And like people just expect, oh, this is a classically trained actor. They wouldn't be willing to do this. No, they like to have fun too in movies.
Oh, one of my favorite moments of something like that is in Deadpool 2, the fact that they got Brad Pitt to play the Vanisher so that he literally only shows up for like a second in the
Uh,
film.
I think the also with Deadpool 2, though it's not actually in the film, it was done as a musical or as a music video, but the fact that they got Celine Dion,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a really good example of that.
Absolutely.
The uh trying to think. A One thing that I did think was a little bit strange within the film is so obviously the little girl that is a big plot point in the film, she is like supposed to be sort of a daughter, I think, to Tank Girl. Um, I don't know if by blood, but just she's supposed to be a mother figure to this child, so she cares about this girl. Um, but they also showed at the beginning, and there was a little boy as well. Did he die or did I because or what? Because they did follow up on him at all.
Yeah, I'm assuming they went dark with that and it was really just Sam, who is the little girl, and Becca, who's Tank Girl. I think those are really the only two that made it out of there.
Like I just think it's interesting how they're like they don't even reference that kid again, and it just kind of ignore his existence. But also there is no moment where Tank Girl or the little girl um mourn the loss of their family,
Yeah.
which I think is a little bit strange. I would think they would be a little bit saddened by the fact that the people that they knew died.
Yeah, like the thing is I love Tank Girl. It's a great fun movie to watch, but in general, I think like the plot and story, like there's definitely some stuff lacking there. Like it's not an amazing movie, but it's a great fun story to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I think it is a lot of fun. And the problems that it does have story-wise, I chalk that up to I was reading online that apparently this was a film that the studio really butchered
Mhm.
after they were finished filming. And so like apparently it was like the film is raunchy as it is, but apparently it was going to be a lot more raunchy within the original cut. But and there was going to be a lot more to the story, but the studio decided that that um that would have been too much for
Yeah.
too much for them, so they toned the film down, and I think it hurt the film a lot.
Oh, I think so too. Although it's still funny though to think that one of the places they shopped it around to was Amblin Entertainment, with Steven Spielberg, and had he actually gone with it, even more of it probably would have gotten cut out.
Probably. Oh, something I think so. That I think is really interesting with this is um like I feel like this is a film where a lot of people would question what audience this is for, because I think this is a film that both people who are adults and people who are children would enjoy, but then also not all people of either would enjoy it. And it's interesting to me because there's another film that is another film that I feel like, though it's definitely not a similar film at all, I do think the comedy in it is kind of similar, is Howard the Duck. And
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because you have that exact same thing with Howard the Duck, of people being like, I don't know what audience this is for.
Hmm.
Or and it's interesting because they both have that, but they're on two opposite sides of the other sides, because Howard the Duck was PG. This is R rated. And I feel like with Howard the Duck, it feels like it's something more than PG. Well, this
Oh yeah.
doesn't quite feel R rated.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could definitely flip-flop those two because there's a lot more sexual innuendo and everything in Howard, and a lot more of the possibility of something going on between the two main characters. Where in this one, I'm trying to think of like what pushed this one over to an R, because I honestly can't put my finger on like what
I don't
specifically would
know.
have gotten it to that point, because it's
Like,
not super violent.
no,
It's not
the
too overly sexual. So I don't
like
know.
so the only two things that I can think of that are even remotely in that area is the um that at the beginning we have that brief bit of nudity with her husband or boyfriend
Yeah.
or whatever. But the thing is that only showed his butt, which is something you can show in a PG-13 rating.
Hmm.
And also, then the other thing is there was a use of the F word, or the fuck at the end. But I think it was only that one time. So again, that would be able to be in a PG-13 film.
I'm wondering if part of it was when they're at Liquid Silver, being the fact that that's like a brothel house, and they're referencing the fact that Sam is essentially being sold and used there or
Mhm.
whatever. That might have been it too, though.
Maybe. Hey, then um yeah, the sexual references may have been and what got it there. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, and and I really do wish we could have seen the original version of this because
Hmm.
I love raunchy stuff. So sign a version of it that is even more raunchy would have been amazing to me. I know one of the things that was supposed to be in it was we were supposed to get a look at Tank Girl's bedroom, and the walls were going to be lined with dildos.
Yeah. Hey, also, uh, there was supposed to be a sequence of both her and Booga being nude, and apparently they
Oh
actually
yeah.
spent about $5,000
Oh
on
yeah.
him having a prosthetic phallic item
Mm-hmm.
that they just cut out.
Yeah, yeah, which is like so dumb. Why did you spend that money if you're just gonna make them cut it out?
Yeah.
Um, which I'm assuming that that is also the same scene where we see a tank girl's bikini that has two rockets on it.
Yeah.
Which I love that that's a thing.
Oh, absolutely. Completely
That's
impractical,
hilarious.
but it's
It's
great.
yeah, it's hilarious. Um, and then like it makes another thing something that makes absolutely no sense in the film, but it's just really fun is that the tank is alive.
Yeah, somehow she can just now control it with like whistling and everything.
Like I don't even think it's her completely controlling it because like she definitely talks to it and it like kind of responds on just like
Oh yeah, especially
on
near the
it
end.
yeah near the end with the and when it ran out of ammo and like oh and like on my first watch because I watched this twice I to get ready for this review on my first watch up until that moment, I didn't realize it was alive, and I was like, wait, what? Why is why is the tank's barrel moving even though there's nothing? Oh, it's not. Oh, but he's in there. What?
Hmm.
Why is it? Is it that was? I was like, this was not something established earlier in the film. So what's going on here?
Yeah, assumedly during the montage or at least the flash forward when they're souping up the tank and the plane, that's apparently when it somehow happened.
Probably. Oh, another moment with the Reapers or is it the kangaroo people really enjoyed was that us when one of them was like just suggested instead of like what to do with their captives he was just like tea and crumpets it's that everybody else was just like yeah tea and crumpets let's do tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
Oh man. Um, it was also really funny when we saw the and this was very random and because I there was another thing I don't think was inside we knew that she had the ability to do because we didn't see any parachutes before that was Jake Girl just flying along a parachute as her tank is carrying her. Like, that was great.
Yeah, how she
Oh man.
somehow was not hit or shot at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Uh, the and also like I really enjoyed the sequence of them trying to jack the convoy. That was
Hmm.
great. It's I love that that she has a chair and a grill on top of her tank.
Yeah. One of my
'Cause,
favorite sequences is just when they're trying to torture her and she's just every time just it totally fine with it no matter how harsh the punishment
oh yeah,
is.
definitely. And it's just like like, oh, if we play Monopoly, I will definitely win.
Yeah.
I'm very good at Monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's great pop culture jokes in this. It's I think really are good for like giving you an idea for when the nuclear I don't even know if it was nuclear, but whenever the apocalypse happened, and
Yeah.
I think that's cool to see. Um, also I'm pretty sure we're less than 10 years away now from when this future is supposedly taking place.
Yeah, it's a the movie takes place in 2033.
Mhm. So that's cool. The I really enjoyed after she um broke the guy's neck with her legs, and
Oh,
all these soldiers are just put their guns to her face, and she's just like, what?
yeah. Man, another thing that just blew my mind when rewatching this was I had completely forgotten that Naomi Watts was Jet Girl, and it was just kind of like seeing her. I was like, oh my god, that's right.
Oh, and she was amazing in the film as well.
Oh, the movie did such good casting for like all of the characters.
It really saddens me that this was a massive bomb at the box office because it would have been so cool for there to be like a bunch of sequels to this.
Yeah, and there was tons of source material. Like there are a lot of comics for this.
I'm pretty sure the Tank Girl comics are still going to this day.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. That I
I'm
wouldn't
pretty
be
sure at
surprised,
least.
but yeah.
It's and but yeah, it's really I think it would have been really fun to see. I think. Oh, we were talking about the lack of violence in this. I think it is the most notable or noticeable in the scene when the villain asked one of his men to take their shoes off and walk on glass for him, and there's no blood whatsoever.
Yep.
Like it's a really interesting thing because it makes me wonder, was there blood in the original version of the film and they took it out, or were they
Yeah.
not intending for there to be blood? Uh, uh like it's really interesting because I'm like because things like that make me wonder if they weren't entirely sure what kind of rating they were going to be going for as they were filming.
Yeah, because like the same thing happens when Iggy Pop's character of I think it's Rat Face, when he takes the danger ball from Sam and it stabs him through the hand, there's no blood. It's just
Mhm.
the blades that go through.
Yeah, when we first got we were first at the brothel place, and we heard them say that have this little girl with him. At first, I was like, that is a really weird choice for this film to do. But then when they had the scene actually come up and she uses the danger ball on him, I was like, okay, I like this now.
Yeah.
This is really funny. He absolutely deserved that.
Oh, very much so. No, I always
Oh
love it
man.
when like little kids get to be badasses and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. The um I thought it was a really cool twist having the villain. He ends up having his head cut off, and it has a hologram, which the reason I think that's such an interesting twist is because his whole thing is wanting to have all of the water in the world, and now he can no longer drink that water. Like I
Yeah.
think that's such a great twist. And then having he's defeated by that water getting poured onto him was great.
Oh, it was very poetic.
Oh man.
Did you
Um,
have you ever heard of the theory that this movie and Big Trouble in Little China are technically connected?
no, I have not.
So there's this odd theory because James Hong appears in both movies. He's Lo Pan in Big Trouble in Little China, and then he is the doctor who cuts off Malcolm McDowell's head. But in both of them, he's an older Asian man with the Fu Manchu mustache and everything. And so someone had a theory that Lopan doesn't actually die in Big Trouble in Little China. He secrets himself away and then just stays in the shadows for years and years. And then when he comes back into this story, he is pretending to be a doctor, but uses like magic. And that's how he's able to actually like cut someone's head off without them dying, is he's using magic to make it happen.
Interesting. I'm not sure I completely believe that, but
Oh
okay.
yeah, no, I don't think it's real, but it's an interesting
Yeah,
theory.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Trying to think. Well, something I was just thinking about that I wanted to mention about the film. But it left my mind. Let's see, what was it? I love the of the villain's second in command's and death scene. And oh, he's like as he says, "Fuck me," and then Jet Girl says, "For the last time, I don't want to."
That was a great moment.
Like that was awesome.
Hmm.
I feel like this is a film that if it came out today, to be honest, I think it would be loved a lot by I particularly like I very feminist people, which I believe I'm a feminist myself, and I think that it's something that a lot of them would enjoy, just because there is a lot of female empowerment in this,
Oh, absolutely.
and it is not afraid to show how sucky a lot of men are.
Hmm. Yeah, but no, this is very much female empowerment movie because it's all about women being able to take things into their own hands. They don't
Hmm.
need any help from any men. They're very strong and capable. Like
Hmm.
everything from what happens with Tank Girl to Jet Girl and even Sam taking care of herself with that danger ball.
Hmm.
Like it's all about strong women in this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then and also had a female director, which was really cool to see. He like whenever I find a comedic film with a female director, it makes me so happy to see, because there's not a lot of them out
Hmm.
there. So and um I find that a lot of times I really enjoy the films that um female directors make, like particularly when they're comedies. So yeah, like that's really cool.
Do you
Um,
do you know what movie she was working on when she first started to
yeah,
look into doing this movie?
yeah, she did Freddy's Dead, the Final
Yep.
Nightmare, which I know is not a lot of people's favorite, but I really loved that film. I had so much fun watching that.
That's another one where it's just like it may not be the greatest movie, but it's just a fun story to
Oh yeah,
watch.
like before watching that film, I did not know I needed to see a Freddy Krueger playing video games with his victims as the player in the game.
Yep.
Like that was so much fun. Oh man,
I think that's also the same one with Super Freddy, right?
I think Super Freddy is in the previous one.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Which I also really enjoyed. Super Freddy. Which I think I think uh, it's interesting. It's interesting. She came off of the Nightmare on Elm Street a franchise to do this. It's which they're both very wacky things, and also there is is at least I can't remember if there was any actually in Freddy's Dead, Ed, or if it was just in the previous film. But like there's also comic booky stuff in within that franchise eyes, and then we have these comic booky scenes in this.
Hmm.
Yeah, which like I particularly mean like them actually showing comic panels and panels and
Oh
animation that
yeah,
look like comics. I don't just mean the fact that it's a comic book adaptation.
yeah.
Um, um I try to think what else to talk about this. Um, it was kind of like I thought it was really interesting how they just took water out of people, which I feel like is like yeah, we say that the body is made up of a massive percentage of water, but I don't think it's actually drinkable water. It's water. It is a
The moment he
very
drinks that,
different fluid.
yeah, the moment he drinks that, I'm just sitting there going, that cannot taste good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really funny to me that people shower with sand in this, which I don't understand that at all. Like that's just making you even more dirty.
Well,
I feel
so what
like.
I was trying to figure out when watching that is whether it was sand or if it was um like ash, because I do know in like certain regions and certain religions and even with animals like chinchillas, ash can be used to cleanse or clean your body.
Hmm,
So I'm wondering if that was anything like that or if it was just
yeah.
sand.
I assumed it was sand just because there's sand all
Yeah.
around, but maybe it is they after maybe after dehydrating people's bodies they burn them into ashes.
You got to do something with them. I mean, you can't just be leaving these dried out husks all over the floor.
Oh man. This is now the second film that I've actually seen in that's where the villain sucked out the liquid from people in recent months as that's also a plot point in the 60s Batman movie with Adam West.
Oh, yeah. Oh
So
my
it's
goodness.
definitely
Wow.
done a lot on very differently in that as it's simply dehydrating them so that they can rehydrate them somewhere else, which is even less believable than what happens in this.
What do you mean? Everything in that movie was believable. Come on. Shark bat
Oh,
repellent
yes,
or
definitely.
bat shark repellent?
Oh man. Um, I think is there anything else about this film that you want to talk about?
Let me see here. See, I love the acting. I like the characters. Um, you know, something that I felt like didn't get enough screen time, in my opinion, was the fact that the character Johnny Prophet, the one who created the Rippers and everything, like they show him that he's been killed uh by Water and Power,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I just felt it was kind of a cop out not to have some sort of appearance by him, or at least uh, a flashback, or I don't know something.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and like maybe like show how water and power got him.
Yeah.
because it's him um maybe show how they actually figured out that this was a ruse, so they replaced the barrel or the boxes of weapons.
Yeah.
Um, it was funny though, that they used this fake shoot photo shoot to
Oh,
be able to give them views of these weapons, and the whole time the Reapers are watching this and they're just like, wait, what is going on?
yeah. Oh God, that whole calendar scene is funny. I especially love the fact that Jet just keeps getting too much into it. That by the end, that Tank Girl just has to be like, "All right, we're going now."
Oh man, yeah. Um, uh, I like that they that they actually did try to make the house in the film look like it does in the comic panel. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Though honestly, part of me at first when I saw that, my first thought was because I've never read the comic like until we actually saw the comic version of it as well. My first thought upon seeing the live action one is that looks like the house from Beetlejuice.
A little
It
bit.
kind of gave off a similar vibe to that. Which, to be honest, I could easily see Beetlejuice being existing in this world.
Oh God, now I'm just thinking of the sandworms being out there in the wasteland.
Oh man, and uh, now for the reboot that is in development, Margot Robbie is producing it. She hasn't said that she's planning on starring. Would you want her to star in it, or is there like another actress that you think would really do well as in the character of Tank
Honestly,
Girl?
I think Margot Robbie would be the best choice to go with. I feel like with the kind of unhinged nature that she did Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
I feel like she would be a pretty good fit. Um, I feel like if she wasn't doing it, that oh man, it's hard to pick someone else. Like I know another rumored person, but this is they're always rumored together because they look so similar was Samara Weaving.
Mhm.
But I feel like she's another one
Which,
that could do it, but I think
yeah,
Margot Robbie would be better.
I would be happy with either one of them. I think, and also I think another that I think could do it, but I don't know if as well is Sydney Sweeney. I think could
See,
possibly, but she hasn't done like anything quite ridiculous, so I'm not sure.
yeah, I feel like I'd have to see her do that
Like
some or at least something similar.
The only reason I'm thinking Sydney Sweeney is just because of her blonde hair, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Uh, well, I think either Samara Weaving or Margot Robbie could do well with the role. Um, and I think they both have some tremendous is like acting range, and they both have shown that they can do the absolutely ridiculous. Is both with Robbie with Harley Quinn, and just like the various horror roles that Samara Weaving has done.
I think more than anything, like even more than having the look, I think to be Tank Girl, you have to have that good comedic timing
Hmm.
because that's something Lori Petty had
Yeah,
absolutely
definitely.
perfect. Just the way she delivered those lines was just perfect when it came to just like the comedic beats.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, let's see. Sorry, I'm now obviously at this point. And Lori Petty, he would not be able to do it again. I mean, to be honest, if they were to do like a legacy sequel thing, I wouldn't mind seeing a return for or something like that. Um, uh, but I feel like it just like you have to be blonde and you have to be able to do the get the comedic timing and you have to be able to act very wacky, and then you can do this role all justice. Let me see, a blonde on actresses.
Well, also do keep in mind though, Lori Petty, I don't think she was blonde. I think she was just dyed blonde for the role.
Ah, interesting. Let's see, I feel like maybe like Amanda Seyfried, or Grace Martinet, or
Oh,
Mortez, as I think one of them might be able to do it. Um, Saros, Ronan, Onan, I feel like could also could be a possibility. Let's see. I bet Catherine Newton could probably do great in the role, especially after how awesome she was as Lisa Frankenstein.
yeah. Yeah, I could, you know what? I could honestly see her pulling that off. Um, like in Abigail, she was a bit kind of like unhinged
Mm-hmm.
with her character there. So
Definitely.
I could potentially see her doing that.
Oh yeah. One that you would have to dye her hair, but is definitely someone who can and pull off the crazy is Jenna Ortega.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Although
don't
I will
know if
say,
I feel like it would be a little bit weird just because she's kind of short. But that's the only thing to it that makes me feel like it wouldn't fit quite as well.
you know who I'd be curious if they could do it. Like I can't think of them doing any comedy, but maybe Mia Goth.
Yeah, I could definitely see something like that happening, and she probably would do really well. I enjoy I've only actually ever seen her with the with Ty West X trilogy, but I really enjoy her in those, so I could definitely see a her being able to do something like this.
Ooh, maybe Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, she could probably do really well with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another thing you want that you're definitely gonna want with an actress is someone who enjoys doing very raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
Because not every actress wants to do something like that. Um and but that's something that's absolutely integral to this character.
Oh, okay. You know who I think could do it? I think they'd be a little too old for who they would probably want to do like a revamp of Tank Girl with. But honestly, I think Kate McKinnon
Yeah, I
could
could
probably do
definitely
a
see
pretty good
that.
Tank Girl.
I could definitely see that. So I think I there's someone I know their face, but I'm blanking on their name. And so let me see. Kristen Ritter. I feel like she could do something like this.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you?
yeah.
She was Jessica Jones owns.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like she
She's really
could.
good with Unhinged. I just don't know if she'd be good with the comedy portion, but that's only because I can't think of anything I've seen her do where she's been comedic.
Mm-hmm. I see. Wait, um, it's definitely not like a massively comedic role, but I do think there's like a good bit of comedy that she does as Jessica Jones. Which is part of what made me think of her.
Gotcha.
Um, let me so I just looked up. I'm trying to look up. Um, this is not working out quite like I was hoping, but I tried looking up unhinged comedy female actors. I think Emma Stone could be an
Ooh.
interesting choice. She's very willing to do the do wacky roles as evidenced by Poor Things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no,
Um,
she could be interesting.
yeah. Hey. Yeah. This all. I think there's a lot of actresses who could do it, and I think this is a role that all if they're willing to go and make it actually as raunchy as it needs to be, I think that most actresses will probably have a lot of fun playing this role. Oh, uh, um, I don't think there's really anything else to talk about for this review. So any final words you'd like to say before I end this off?
I if anyone wants to, just due to the fact that you brought up the idea of rewatching this movie, probably later on tonight, I'm going to be putting up one of my regular movie trivia reviews that's going to be about Tank Girl, which a lot of the stuff
Nice.
we kind of discussed and brought up, but there's still some extra stuff if anyone wants
Mhm.
to catch that.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So definitely check that out. Check out, and as I said earlier, check out Askewed reviews on TikTok. That's where you can find us. He's an awesome content creator on there. We are both a part of art of a movie club, which is how we really kind of met. And even though I'm pretty sure we were following each other on TikTok before that, but we haven't really interacted. And it's been a lot of fun being a part of the movie club. Which if anyone's wondering what exactly I mean by that, because like I don't think a lot of my podcast views are the same as TikTok. Basically each week, we two creators are paired up with each other, and they give each other films to review on Saturdays, particularly horror films. And it's just been a really fun and collaborative experience, and it's getting to meet a lot of different creators and others, and um give them and also particularly like I for me it's been nice I making other people have to watch the wacky films that I like.
Yeah. Man, there's been so many movies I've ended up watching that I just either didn't know about or were like on a list of like maybe I'll catch that at some point.
I so I'm so a lot of like the horror films that I most like are the really wacky ones, and so and that also means though that there are ones that it's really hard to get other people to watch.
Yeah.
So it's nice to now be able to force some people to watch them. I
Hmm.
mean, happily every time that I've given someone a film, ended up enjoying it. So that's nice.
Yeah, for me, I love horror movies and it's one of those it could be really good or really bad, but if it's my first time seeing it, I just enjoy being able to see a
Uh,
new horror movie.
I think for me, it's I usually enjoy horror films. The only times I don't always completely enjoy them is, to be honest, is what this week's theme is of art house horror. Because like I just find a lot of house sort of films to be a little bit boring. But
Yeah.
it's just a personal thing for me. Yeah, this was
Yeah, you
this,
to enjoy art house horror, there it really has to be like really thought provoking or have a great story or just something so visually stunning about it. But otherwise, a
yeah.
lot of them can be very like, oh, this is painful.
Yeah. And then there's also the films where you're like I I can see this is a really good film, but this is not something I personally feel like I can enjoy
Yeah.
when it comes to art house films. Um, like I I I think the film Midsommar is a great film, but when I watched it for my podcast, I was like, this is definitely not my taste. This is hard for me to get through.
Yeah, like for instance, I love scenes from Hereditary. I don't actually like the whole movie. I know a lot of people give me hate for that, but I don't know. There's just something about the movie that in total I didn't enjoy the movie, but there's certain scenes that I
Hmm.
thought were amazing.
Nice. I think that can easily be the case with a lot of films. Um, some scenes particularly might be good, but the rest of the film you're just like, this is a bore to get through.
Yeah.
Oh man. Um, and I usually try to like even if I'm not enjoying something, I will try to make it through the whole film in hopes that I can hopes that I'll be able to enjoy it. There's been very few times in my life where I've been like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore. Or
Yeah.
this is too boring. Like one of the times was us trying to watch, and I'm pretty sure this would be something that would count as an art house horror. Is the Scarlett Johansson film Under the Skin?
Oh, I
Have you
never
ever
saw
heard of
that
that?
one, but I know of it. Yeah.
Like I tried watching it. I was like, God, this is a pain to get through. And also though, I could barely see what was going on in the film because it's a very dark film.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in tone, I mean particularly like the camera shots are dark. So it was
Gotcha.
like I was like, this is hard to enjoy. But I've heard so many people say how great it is. I'm like, I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, as I said, though, everyone, please check out Askewed reviews on it was on TikTok. And thank you for listening. If you like this game and analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode, so please let me know. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Trivia John, signing off.